This podcast contains discussions of mature themes, including violence, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Please proceed with caution. Listener discretion is advised.
And the invisible man says, I don't know, but my asshole is killing me.
Welcome everybody to Dark Talk. As always, I'm your host Dan, and I'm joined by my bros, Paul and James. How is it going? Paul, why are you laughing at me?
Yeah, I don't know. We just had a mad 10 minutes putting filters on ourselves, so that's kind of set a big giggly path.
Only just discovered them 15 episodes.
Yeah, we should have been recording a long time ago. We've been dicking around with space filters and cat pictures. And...
Strawberries.
So how are you both? It feels like a lifetime since we recorded last.
When did we record last? Like 3 weeks ago, was it?
3 weeks ago, yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Nearly 20 days.
Shit.
It was the day after my birthday that we recorded.
Oh, yeah.
What have you done in those 3 weeks? Anything interesting?
What have I been doing? Started the new Black Mirror. I haven't finished it yet, so we might need to have no spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Which ones have you seen?
Well, we won't spoil anything for any listeners anyway, because this is not a Black Mirror podcast.
Yes, and it's probably 2027 now.
By the time this gets released, yeah. There'll be on Black Mirror
which ones
10.
have I watched? The Common People one. Common People. What was the one after that?
That's how you say it.
Yes, watched that one. Watched Hotel Reverie, was it?
Yeah.
I watched the Paul Giamatti one, but we watched that one first because I got the episodes the wrong way around.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the Star Trek
USS Callister
one either.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we've got about 2 more to watch.
Have you seen the one with Peter Capaldi?
No, not yet.
That's my favourite.
Very good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what did you two think of the ones that I have seen?
My favourite is the Paul Giamatti one. It's got a very uncharacteristically optimistic ending, a happy ending for a Black Mirror episode, which I kind of liked, because the rest of the episode was really dark and quite sad. But yeah, my favourite. I liked them all. I thought it was a really strong season. The seasons have been getting better as they've been going on, because there are a lot of not as great episodes in the early to mid seasons, but this season and the last season, I don't think there was a particularly bad episode among them.
There were two bad episodes in the last season though. The werewolf one.
Which ones?
And the...
Fuck off! I love that one.
I'm with you, Paul. I didn't like that
I was
one.
the opposite. I thought that was so good. That was my favourite, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I love that one.
And the demon one. I don't think that was very good either. Eulogy, though, it reminded me a bit of Eternal Sunshine. With
Yes.
The memories and stuff. I really liked it. Yeah. It was really good. He's just so fucking good, though.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
I love his voice. Do you know? Did you ever watch that documentary about the Son of Sam killer on Netflix? Came out about 3-4 years ago.
So good.
He narrates that, and his voice is just gorgeous. It's giving me goosebumps thinking about how well he narrates that documentary.
Yeah, so good. I watched it with Izzy, and we were like, "But how old do you think he is?" Or something. And she Googled him, and she was like, "He's only 50 or something." Yeah. He looks like really old, and that. I was like, "Yeah, they probably made him look really fucking awful."
It's funny because in the flashbacks, the guy...
No offence.
The guy that plays Paul Giamatti's character in the flashbacks, the younger, looks nothing like Paul Giamatti looked like in the early 90s. He's always looked exactly the same as he does now. Yeah.
Even it looked like it should have been. It was good casting. It looked realistic. He has always looked that age, doesn't he?
I thought the episode Common People, you want to synthesize Black Mirror into one episode. If you want to show somebody what Black Mirror is, I think Common People is exactly that. Technology is evil and it's just going to shit all over you because of capitalism. I think. And I am going to spoil it, so I can't really say, but that ending was powerful, and then it just got there's something happens during that ending that just made me give me a migraine. But I'm you guys know what it is. I'm not going to say it out loud. But yeah, definitely, strong season.
Best season since season 3, I would say.
What was in season 3?
Was that San Junipero?
Hang the DJ.
Yeah.
No, not Hang the DJ. That's Shut Up and Dance.
Oh, that was fucking awesome. Shut Up and Dance is one of my favourites.
Same. Yeah.
That's the one with Jerome Flynn, right?
Yeah, and the young lad out of End of the Fucking World. He's good. He's good actor. Of course, it ends with the Radiohead exit music.
Oh, exit music for a film.
Yeah, and oh god, that song is haunting anyway, but it's just so perfect. Oh god, yeah.
I'd say my 2 favourite episodes of the entire series I think you will agree with me on the one, Paul, is Crocodile.
Absolutely, it's my second favourite.
Which I think is, and this one, nobody else seems to like it but me, is Hated in the Nation. You're the one with the, no, not the bees, not the bees.
The bee episode.
Yeah, the robot bee episode. I thought that was so good. Like, nobody else seems to like it but me. So.
You only liked it because it's got the BT MILF in it.
Oh, yeah. James, what's the name of that actress who's not Kelly Riley? The Scottish actress from Line of Duty. Do you know her from... Is she the wife in...
Kelly MacDonald.
Kelly MacDonald, the wife in No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, she's in Trainspotting as well, and she's a schoolgirl. Yeah, I remember at one point I was like watching loads of stuff with her in, and I had this proper hot for her. So I was just watching loads of stuff with her in. What was that show she was in where it was crossed with like the Japanese police force?
Oh, I forgot about that. Gilly Hadge.
I can't remember, but yeah.
Not a great show, really.
It was like a BBC.
No,
it wasn't very good.
It was quite experimental, really, when you think about it. Like, for what it was.
Yeah,
it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was a good idea. Fresh idea.
Yeah.
Been doing anything non-Black Mirror related? Any good films?
I've been watching loads of stuff. I have. There's something I need to bring up. Yeah.
Have you?
For the first time in ages, I've been watching something like almost every night because, like, in the daytime, I've been doing my comic, and that's taken up like loads of time. Yeah, I managed to like watch loads. So there's one thing I need to bring up. I was listening to can't remember whether it was. This will be. Yeah, I can't. I was listening
to what? Sorry,
our podcast on. It was either Rob Zombie's Halloween or his Resurrection or whatever. Dan mentioned the end of Killer Joe being like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, right? And you asked me, and I just agreed with you, right? And it's because I was thinking of the film Mud, which is also Matthew McConaughey. And then I had never seen the end of Killer Joe, so I watched that the other night, and it was really good, to be fair.
Fucking great film.
It's so good, isn't it? Yeah. I've just been watching Ted Lasso, actually, and Juno Temple's like a big character in that. Right. She's the young girl in that show that Matthew McConaughey like marries, or the kid, but she's obviously much older than this. But yeah,
I also watched the Monkey. Which
saw that as well.
I've not seen it, but I don't really care if you ruin it because
it's just exactly what you'd imagine, and it's.
I mean, I thought it was going to be good. So,
well, I was listening to the Halloweenies podcast this morning, and there was an advert for it on there. It was like it wasn't them; it was like just a Spotify advert, I think. But it was like scariest film since thingy. But I've noticed all the films that are coming out like in the last couple of years use that tagline, like scariest film since like Silence of the Lambs for Longlegs. I was just like, oh, fuck. Like they've got to. It's just taming everything down to like scariest.
Well, I mean, especially if you watch the film The Monkey, like I wasn't expecting like I wasn't expecting high art, but like I wasn't expecting a load of CGI crappy looking kills because it's just fucking awful.
It's like Final Destination.
I'm not going to bother them.
Monkey.
Really, it's Final Destination with a monkey. It's fucking shit. Like,
that does.
I also cleansed my palate by watching Jacob's Ladder as well. So that was
fucking yes, yes, please. Oh, I haven't seen that film in about 20 years. Do you know they did a remake of it?
Yeah, I actually watched the trailer for the remake the other day, and it looks terrible, to be fair.
We should sit down one night. We should watch the Martyrs. Is there a Martyrs remake?
Yeah.
No, I'm not watching. I can't.
Is there? So we should watch the Martyrs remake. We should watch the Jacob's Ladder remake, and we should watch the American Old Boy just to like punish ourselves.
Fuck me. Also, just before we carry on, when I was trying to find Hollow Man, I was like, oh, I'll see if it's online anyway, because normally I see what it's on and I'll rent it. So then it was on. There was a YouTube link came up, Hollow Man, full movie, 1 hour something. I was like, oh shit, fuck it, I'll watch it on there if it's on there. So like, I was watching it for a while. I was like, I don't remember any of these scenes. I didn't know there was a Hollow Man 2 that had come out.
Oh, was that what you were watching?
Yeah. I was watching it for ages as well. I was like, when's Elizabeth shooting? And it looked fucking awful. But I might watch it.
Well, listen, we've got... we found out last time that there was a sequel to Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Now there's also a sequel to Hollow Man. I wonder if there's a sequel to the film I'm going to choose. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that can be your next choice, Paul, and then I'll do Hollow Man 2 next time.
I actually found out that there was a sequel to it today as well, while I was listening to...
To Hollow Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it, obviously. Well, until today.
Isn't it?
It's what? How many years?
Christian Slater.
Oh, I thought you said it's thingy years
I
later.
thought you said that
How
as well.
many?
Christian Slater. That's
Christian Slater's in it.
That's a good show, actually. Yeah. Oh God, I've used him in my recast later on. No, I haven't. Right, there's 2 films that I've watched. So I haven't really seen much media in the past since we've recorded because I've been listening to Fire and Blood, the Game of Thrones Targaryen audiobook, which is the House of the Dragon series is based on. So I've basically just spoiled that entire show for myself by listening to the audiobook. It's something like 35 hours of listening, and it's like I'm like dreaming about Westeros and King's Landing and all kinds of shit. Yeah. But I finished it yesterday, so I had time to sneak in 2 films. So one film I watched that I don't know if either of you have ever seen. It's a film called The Wasp. Have you heard of it? Starring Game of Thrones alumni Natalie Dormer and Naomi Harris from 28 Days Later. It's just those 2, and it's almost like a 2-hander. Like it's basically just them in a living room for most of the film. It's very much like is it Hard Candy with Elliot Page and Patrick Wilson?
Elliot Page, yeah,
before his transition. It's pretty much like that. It's quite a low rent thriller, but I thought it was pretty interesting, pretty good. Enjoyed it.
Is it worth a watch?
It's worth a watch. It is worth a watch.
That sounds quite good.
Yeah, The Wasp. I have completely forgotten the second film I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, shit! It was last night. I watched. You guys have definitely seen this, and I hadn't until last night. Is Green Room.
What do you think?
It's fucking mint. I was just like, oh my god, all the way through. And again, when Patrick Stewart turned up, like when they introduce his character. He gets out of the car and you don't see who he is, he's just bald. And I was thinking to myself, go on, who's this? Which B-movie actor is this? It's fucking Patrick Stewart. I was like, oh my god.
Did you not know he was in it at all?
No, I didn't know anyone was in it.
Nice.
The only thing is when I started the film, I recognised, I can't think of the actor's name now, John Boy from Peaky Blinders and also from Hang the DJ, Black Mirror. I can't think of the actor's name now. And Anton Yelchin, rest in peace. They were
Joe Cole.
Joe Cole, yeah. They were the only 2 faces in it I recognised, and obviously Patrick Stewart when he turned up. But yeah,
the girl, Imogen Poots?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's in it. Yeah,
and also one of the guys who runs the place. He is right. So I can't remember.
Oh, it's fucking Macon Blair, isn't it? I only remembered him. I saw his name come up on the credits. I was like, "Fuck, which one is he?" Because I've only ever seen him in Blue Ruin, where he's got that beard. Whereas in this, he's like
it's the same director, isn't it?
Yeah.
He just loves films with colours.
Was he the main guy in Blue Ruin?
He's the main guy from Blue Ruin, yeah.
I went to the cinema to see that.
Yeah. We have talked about it on this podcast before.
I've not seen it since.
I
think I preferred. You did, yeah. I can't think of who you cast him as.
For the first time yesterday, I watched Lost Boys for the first time. I'd never seen it before. I liked it, yeah. I probably won't watch it again. I imagine if I grew up watching it, I think it was a lot better.
I think it was great as well.
I think I definitely see where From Dusk Till Dawn get the look of their vampires, though.
Right, should we dance?
I haven't actually written that many notes for this. I just watched it.
Yeah, it was fucking enjoyable, wasn't it?
Because I watched it so many times. Yeah, it's just fucking well done.
Right, Dark Talkers, let's talk dark. Gents, we're here tonight to discuss Hollow Man, released in the year 2000, Y2K. Directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Elizabeth Shue, Josh Brolin, and the great Kevin Bacon as the titular Hollow Man. James, yours is pretty much the same as mine, I imagine.
I don't actually remember watching it for the first time. I remember we had it on VHS somehow, but I always remember looking at the cover and thinking it looked a lot scarier than it was. Yeah. Like, I thought it was like a proper horror film. But yeah, I can't remember, but I just remember fucking loving it. It's a really good film.
Yeah. Paul, when did you first see this film? Have you seen it before?
So I was going to ask, whatever happened to that VHS copy that you had? Do you remember?
Have you got it?
Yeah, I took it. It was...
Did you?
I did ask.
The thieving continues.
No. We had a night out and I stayed at yours, and then the next day it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like ready to go home. I was like, Hollow Man on VHS. I was like, I've never seen this. Can I borrow it? And he said yeah. And I took it home and I watched it. And that's the only time I've ever seen it, other than last night. So I remember the trailers and stuff when it came out. They used the bit when he's like covered in water quite a lot, didn't they? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
yes, they did.
I just never got round to ever watching it, you know. And then obviously I borrowed it from you because probably in about 2009 or something like that. Because I had a VHS player quite late on. I've still got VHS videos at my mum's house now. So
Yeah. I've been looking into buying one of those VHS DVD player combos because I think like that would be such a cool thing to have.
Yeah, I keep thinking the same, but I've just moved house and got rid of a load of crap, and now I'm like, oh yeah,
I'll just start a VHS collection.
I said it to Izzy the other day, and I was like, oh, we should get one. She was like, no.
Not happy.
But yeah, when did you say the first time you watched it, Paul?
It was about 2008, 2009. I'm trying to remember what hair I had because that's how I remember what happened. Yeah.
So, did either of you spot anything in the credits? In the opening credits, which is all like the DNA sequencing and the names coming up. So when the credits rolled, it's like all this DNA sequencing and science bullshit. I noticed that Elizabeth Shue has got top billing in this film over Kevin Bacon.
No, I did not notice that.
I know that sounds like a small thing, but you know the film is called Hollow Man, and he's by far and away the biggest star at the time in this film. It's mad that they gave her top billing because she's only been in, is it Back to the Future? Oh yeah, Karate Kid. Is she, Paul? You'll know. Is she in Cobra Kai?
Yes.
As that character that she was in the original.
But like basically every single side character from the first 3 films, they're all in it.
Right, so we meet Kevin Bacon's character, who is the handsome, dashing, yet utter prick, Dr. Sebastian Kane. A world-class invisibility scientist, bro. Like, he's the head of a top-secret military project for the Pentagon, headed by his mentor, his mentor is Dr. Kramer, played by William Devaney. James, did you recognise William Devaney from anything?
I thought I did.
Don't you Google it right now, you bastard.
I'm looking at him now. No, go on, tell me. Wait, no. Give me a hint. Give me a subtle hint.
Okay, so I know him from 2 films. So this one I don't think you've seen. He's in a 70s like action revenge film called Rolling Thunder, where he plays the lead, and he's an absolute badass Vietnam vet. Now the film that you'll know him from is definitely one of the lesser known Hitchcock films, but it's one of the best ones.
Oh fuck yeah! It's his last film, isn't it? Family Plot.
Yes, he's the main villain in Family Plot.
Yes, I knew him from somewhere. Yeah, shit. Nice, good spot.
He's a great actor. I loved him in this. He's only got 2 scenes, but both scenes he's just so like well spoken and just like.
Yeah.
We're getting off track. We're meant to be talking about Kevin Bacon. Right, so we meet Dr. Sebastian Kane, world-class invisibility scientist, played by Kevin Bacon. He's the head of a top-secret military project headed by his mentor, Dr. Kramer, as we mentioned before. What do you think of Bacon's performance when he's before he becomes an invisible man? What do you think of the character of Sebastian, this smug, chauvinist pig arsehole that he is?
Not a lot, really.
No.
No.
I think he's just a cunt. Like
he is a cunt. That's what I meant. I don't think much of him.
He's got everyone tell him that he's God's gift to science. So he's the head of a science project, and Elizabeth Shue and Josh Brolin are his 2 lesser scientists, his 2 lab assistants. Now, Sebastian used to be in a relationship with Elizabeth Shue's character, but they've separated. She's dumped him, and she's now going out with secretly Josh Brolin's character Matt. And even Matt is like, they're lying there in bed and she's trying to like bang him, and he's just like flaccid dick syndrome. He's like, what about Sebastian? Is his dick bigger than mine? He's a brilliant genius invisibility science. What about me? And she's just like, fucking shut up. You're working this up.
I think it would have been like more interesting, I guess, from like seeing him go insane if he was actually like quite a nice guy. To begin with. Yeah. But I know that's not the way they wanted to go with it.
Well, they don't do that in the 2021 film either, do they? The guy from the 2021 film is a complete fucking shithead as well. Like, the Invisible Man.
Yeah, true.
In all his renditions that I can think of is a complete knob right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And the invisibility just makes him worse.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't want to jump ahead, but I was going to mention this earlier, and I don't think it states in the film. Do you think the invisibility, like the serum that they have, turns them insane? Yeah. Like, turns them into a psychopath? Or do you reckon it's just the effect of being invisible and not being able to sleep properly and see your own face and all that kind of stuff?
Well, we'll get into that in a minute, because I have got something I want to say, but I want to sort of get to it as we go. We'll work up to that. But what I forgot about this film completely is the fact they're not working on turning things invisible. They're working on a cure to bring things back from invisibility. So when they had the meeting, oh no, they show the gorilla. Well, let's get into the invisible animals first, right? So they show us this underground lab. So Sebastian drives to work singing "Power Struggle" by Sutter, but he doesn't know the words. So he's like lip syncing, but he doesn't know any of the words. He does it again later when he's invisible to this other song, and I was like, fucking, and I love that song by Sutter.
I found that clip on YouTube, and I was looking through the comments. It was like, this guy, this is his Oscar-worthy scene, or something like that. It was so funny.
Anyway, yeah. So he goes to work, and he works in the Reservoir Dogs warehouse, which has a lift to the Umbrella Incorporated secret lab, and they go down into the lab. And I like this scene because this is like an establishing structural scene of the film. So they show all these animals. Some of them are invisible, some of them are visible or not invisible. But I really like the way they show you what animals in the cage. So they have these cages rigged up to just move by themselves, and they just play like gorilla sound effects or like lion sound, or whatever animals in the cage is like. Rah! It's like, but then they pan up to show you like a thermal imaging of what animals in there. And I thought that was a really clever technique. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it's like, really good.
If I was
simple filmmaking, like that's something you could do on a budget, you know?
Yeah. But stuff like that, and they use the thermal camera in this film like quite a bit, don't they? It's quite.
It's really effective as well. Like I don't want to skip. Well, I won't skip to it. But yeah, thermal imaging stuff's really, really clever, really well used in this film. A couple of times. Well, I'd say every time it is used. Okay. So again, I didn't realise they were trying to crack the invisibility return formula until they get the gorilla on the bed and they inject it with the invisibility return formula.
I didn't until you just said it.
Yeah, so it like brings the gorilla back. It looks like Dr. Manhattan, you know, when he comes back to life after being incinerated in the 50s. What do you think of the effects here with when the gorilla returns, when Sebastian himself, transforms invisible?
Yeah. So apparently they did like a full body scan of Kevin Bacon, and they like really researched it and like put loads of effort into like making it look as good as they could. And apparently like the scan was so good that like hospitals used it or something. Oh, wow. I'm not sure if that's true.
Like
wow, really?
Maybe it'll come up on my facts later on. Little trivia. You'll have to wait to see.
Yeah, I think they put loads of effort into. Obviously, it looks like pretty dated now. It looks like a pre-rendering that you'd show the director to be like, oh, this is what it will look like.
Yeah, I still
before
think
you added all the effects
and
stuff, but
pretty
I think
okay
for
what it is.
Yeah,
I've seen worse effects since. So
I was thinking as well, because the film's so like well lit. It's not really like a dark horror film, is it? No. So I think it would have been so much easier to do it if it wasn't so like well lit.
Yeah,
you got to spend more time and stuff like that to see stuff. Whereas like if half the film was in shadow,
it probably looked better.
Probably would have looked better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How did you feel about the invisible gorilla just like escaping and just running around? And they're like, he's like $10. I get it first, and it's like, this is an invisible gorilla. Like, take it more seriously. They're like so dangerous, and it's pissed off, and it's invisible. It's gonna go and kill everyone. Get on it. Like.
Fucking invisible Harambe.
And also, I just thought of this now, but why didn't they put like an item of clothing on it or something? You know, like I'm just thinking of Homer's like, is it a moo-moo? The chef's hat. Or like a pair of trainers or something.
Just this pair of trainers running through the corridor while Josh Brolin and Kevin Bacon are running after it with tranquilizing.
Now, here's an important question.
Yeah, exactly.
Would that gorilla have two pairs of trainers so that they've got them on like this as well? So when they run, they're like,
no, he'd have two pairs of gloves, I think.
Or two pairs of gloves.
Two pairs of gloves.
So yeah, it's that whole thing. Is like, how would a xenomorph wear a beanie hat? Would it just wear it like on the top of its long head? Would it
on the top,
stretch it all the way? Does it wear it on the back of its long head? Does the mouth have a little hat?
Two pairs of gloves, and he'd have a gorilla's t-shirt on. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, when they're like, oh, $10, I get it first. He's like,
why isn't there a security team at this lab? The security they've got, it's Kevin Bacon and we'll get into these tranquilizer darts later on, actually, because they are fucking lethal. Because I'm just going to jump ahead of it. Because when Sebastian is invisible and he's hunting down everyone, like Josh Brolin's got one of them tranquilizer guns, and every time he fires it, stuff fucking explodes, and he fires it at the pipes, and the pipes just go boom!
Pipes and everything.
Like, no one really ever gets shot with one of them fucking things. Yeah, so Sebastian, he successfully brings this gorilla back to visibility, so he has to give his report to the Pentagon, and I wasn't ready for them to know yet, so he tells them that they're not ready. He wants to be the first guy to go invisible. So he gives it the whole, like, innovators don't follow the rules, they seize the moment. Like, he's planning to build a submarine to go see the Titanic out of fiberglass or carbon fiber or whatever that fucking thing was called. So he wants to be the first person to go invisible. So he lies to his team. They strap him up, they lie him on the bed, they're about to inject him with the invisibility serum. There's something about a topless Kevin Bacon lying down. I was expecting Mrs. Voorhees to be under the bed to stab him with an arrow through the neck. I thought, here we go, they're gonna fucking get him.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
so
it's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, the effects, I think they hold up pretty well.
He's in good shape as well, old Kevin.
Yeah. I do think so. This is pretty much it is the end of live action Kevin Bacon in this film now. That's not to say his performance is over, because I still think he gives a fucking hell of a performance for the rest of this film, even though he's entirely made up of CG, and I think,
Yeah. I want to talk more about that, but I don't want to ruin your trivia at the end, Paul, so I don't want to mention too much about it.
I think it's more important to talk about that, because it's such a big part of the film, in discussion, than me just having a paragraph of trivia about it. So talk about it.
Before you do, I just want to say, I think now, so we've had the invisibility in and out effects. I think now that he's invisible, we get the best effects of the film. They all look
They're fucking
they look
so
good. They're so good, and they still hold up today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of I don't know, the way I would think to do it would be to they shoot it on a tripod, they have everything happen. He's in a green screen suit, green morph suit, and then they shoot a plate, if you will. And then they have all the actors in, and they just take him out so easy. There's so many moving camera shots in this. Yeah. And the jacket's going over him. It looks so good.
That's the bit I couldn't get my head around that when I was younger. How good it looks. He just throws the blanket over himself and walks into the bedroom, and I was like, that is, how did they do that? I couldn't believe how good it looks. It's amazing.
Well,
it's really well done.
Now you say that, Dan, about you couldn't believe how good it was when you saw it when you were younger. It reminded me a lot of Forrest Gump, with Lieutenant Dan without his leg. So I remember watching that with my family. Gary Sinise, isn't it? I remember watching that with my family, and I think my mum and dad came to the conclusion that they cut his legs off for the film. They were like, there is no other way that he could have legs. And until I saw what was it, Ransom a couple of years later, I was like, he's got magic legs,
Wait a minute, he has got legs.
They cut his legs off.
But so there was a lot of I reading into it and listening to a couple of things about it. I wish I'd have remembered this better so I could explain it better, but we'll get to it in the trivia, but I will talk about it. So apparently they used green paint instead of a suit, so it was as skin tight as possible, so it's literally his skin and nothing else creating any kind of texture or anything. And
oh shit, no, I didn't know that.
So when he's got the rubber mask on, he's still got the green suit on underneath, green everything underneath. So with that just on. So I think they filmed a bunch of scenes without him in it, just them reacting to nothing and stuff, but it didn't work or something like that, so they had to bring him back. But we'll get to the trivia about that.
I mean, it fucking works, because I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, but even when he's got that rubber Freddy looking. What is it like?
It's like
it looks sick, doesn't
it? It looks like Kevin. It looks like Kevin Bacon, doesn't it? It looks exactly like him.
It's because it is him underneath it, isn't it?
Yeah, I just cannot fawn over the effects in this film enough. I think it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, so good.
So, Paul, one of our mentors said this once. He said, Uncle Ben said to Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. Now, Dr. Sebastian Kane has been granted the ultimate power of being invisible. Every kid's fantasy is to be invisible or to teleport, one or the other. So what would you do if you were given invisibility powers?
I'm going to refer back to a conversation that we had at a music festival about 15 years ago or something like that. And we were talking about if we had Bernard's watch. And
oh, yeah.
I was like, I wish I had Bernard's watch right now. And you were like, what would you do here with Bernard's watch? And I was like, pause time.
I know what you're going to say, because I was going to say exactly what you're going to say
now.
Go
up on stage, look at John Davis's dick.
I was thinking about this driving home today. I said I was prepping my answer for this question. I was saying, with invisibility, I'd get a flight to Bakersfield, find Jonathan Davis's house, go in there and look at his dick. Fucking hell. Great fucking minds, man. James, what would you do with the power of invisibility?
Well, I'm also going to reference conversations that me and you had many years ago. We said, and we were both talking about.
Oh, I know what this is going to be.
What would you do if you were invisible? And I think your answer, and after you'd said it, I was like, yeah, I'd do that too, was to put a pair of shoes on and hop down the street.
No. It was a pair of like black tap dancing shoes with white socks pulled right up, and just I just run down the street.
Yeah. I think I would. That'd be the first thing. And just watching it grow on like the local Facebook groups and stuff. That could be like the Hollow Man 3.
Yeah, we should use like viral marketing.
Imagine if like, one day, like one of you two woke up and you were invisible and you were like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my black shoes on, my white socks. And you're starting running down the street and you just turned back visible. And you're just like naked running down the street with your balls flopping around and your white socks and shoes.
James, would you use your screen accurate Halloween H20 Michael Myers loafers for this project?
Oh, which ones would there be? Maybe I'd use the Halloween Fall shoe. the softer black brogue. Oh, they're the worst. And if anybody needs to see a shot of them, it's when Michael Myers is on the roof in Halloween 4. Get a good clear shot of his shoes.
That'll be going up in the show notes for this episode.
Yeah, that could be the thumbnail for this, I think. No, I don't know. I really like. I probably do something similar. I don't know if I'm skipping ahead here, but you know where he drives out when he finally escapes. Not escapes, but he goes out for the day, and then he parks up in that traffic.
Freaks the kids out.
Yeah,
it scares the shit out of the kids.
Yeah. It's the first bit's really funny when he lifts his glasses up and they're like, "Oh my god!" and then he starts going, "Oh!"
And they're like, "Mom!"
It's just the biggest
Mom. But it's funny as well because when the mum turns around to look, he puts his sunglasses down, closes his mouth, and just drives off really quietly. Just you got these fucking hysterical kids.
It reminded me of that. Did you see that video that went viral? I don't know, maybe last year or beginning of this year. There's a bloke and his mate in a white van. So the bloke's filming the driver of the white van. And they pull up next to a bus and they're stuck in traffic and he's points to the girl on the bus to tap the bloke who she sat behind on the shoulder. He's like, "Oh, tap him, I know who he is." Yeah. So she taps this bloke on the shoulder to look out the window and he just goes back.
He just drives off. And this bloke's like, "Will you tap me on the shoulder?" So anyway, the reason I referenced Stanley and the great power comes great responsibility quote is because Sebastian is given great power, the ultimate power of invisibility, and he instantly uses this great power to become a rapist and perform several sexual assaults within minutes of turning invisible.
I rewound it and had a look how long it took him. It took him 4 minutes, approximately 4 minutes, to sexually assault somebody.
Yeah.
Fuck it out.
So there's three, right? Right, so there's the first one is instantly he goes to Kim Dickens' character and she's the one she really understands what a piece of shit he is. He unbuttons her top and starts fondling her breast and it's really fucking horrible. The second one, which is a bit more subtle because he is fully invisible. But it's when Elizabeth Shue is trying to study something under a microscope, right? He keeps winding her up by moving a can of Coke and moving her pens around and shit like that. But because she's his ex, he thinks he can get away with all this sort of stuff. He starts kissing her neck and rubbing her. And because he's invisible, he says, "What does that feel like to you?" And I was watching, I thought, oh my god, he's rubbing his dick on her face or shoulder or something.
Isn't it?
I never got that before.
Oh shit!
It was only on this watch. I thought, fuck, that's what he's doing. Because she's like, what? He's like, what does that feel like? And she's like,
I never got that.
She's like, get it off me, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, it was his dick. He also spied.
Yeah, so he's obviously done something before. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was that's those. What is up with those toilets that Janice goes to, right? Because it's a massive room and it's full of urinals, but there's an actual toilet for people to sit on, but there's no cubicle around her. She's just sat there in the middle of this room on this fucking toilet.
Metal Gear Solid toilet.
Sebastian's definitely designed those toilets, hasn't he?
He has, hasn't he? Yeah, just on the off chance he becomes invisible so he can have a fucking perp. He's not in the room at this point though, is he?
Yeah,
he's in that room because she brings.
No, he sneaks in and watches her.
No,
but you don't see it though, do you?
No, because she gets the.
I thought she puts on the glasses, doesn't she? And you can't see him.
She can't see him anywhere. She puts the goggles on.
Definitely happens.
And because she's thinking, oh god, he's such a creep, he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's probably which I kind of like that he's not just it's is he or isn't he? You know.
Yeah, it confirms for her that he's not a bit weird. Well, anyway, so I thought the premise of the film was the fact that he's invisible and he's invisible for too long and it drives him insane. But nope, takes him like you said, Paul. Takes him 4 minutes to become a molester and a rapist.
I never remembered that obviously, but which I think not that we know and we don't need to talk about it, but he's probably done this before. I know he's watching his neighbour at the beginning of the film through his window.
Well, I had the same thought. I thought because he's like a brilliant scientist dude. Like, imagine what he was like in college and high school. Imagine how many he's got away with over the years.
Yeah.
They definitely like, they don't say it, but like if you watch, I don't even think it's implied. I just think it's something that I've taken from it. And obviously you've got the same thoughts on him.
But especially like nowadays as well.
Yeah. It's definitely not the first time that he's done this, because we're going to jump ahead now to when he leaves the lab. So he spots his neighbour, who was the most beautiful woman on earth, Rona Mitra. She was the first ever person to portray Lara Croft, was Rona Mitra.
Really? I thought... Oh, I'm thinking you did her voice.
Oh, no.
From Peep Show, yeah.
No, she was the first like model that I remember seeing in like PlayStation Pro magazine. So I had Rona Mitra's posters all up my room. Yeah, Rona, if you listen to this, there's still time for us. Yeah. So anyway, so Sebastian, he's lost his mind in the lab because he's been there 10 days. He's been invisible for too long, and he fucks off out of the lab, drives back to his house in his fucking Porsche, spots his neighbour, Rona, and he looks through the window and he realises what he can do with the power that he's got. And he's just like, for a second, he sort of thinks like, 6 days like, no. And then he just says to himself like, well, who's going to know? Again, it's like, say, I've done this before and I got away with it. Now I'm definitely going to get away with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say I like the scene because of what it is, but I think it's so well put together because it's so tense. The doorbell rings, she answers, there's no one there, and then we have first-person view of him sneaking into a room, and he's dicking around in a flat, and she instantly knows there's something going on. He's like sitting around with a mirror, and then he violently rapes her, and it's pretty gross. And it's even worse because I forgot the scene. It cuts to a shot later on of after he's done it, and she's lying on the bed crying, and you see his wet footsteps going away, and it's just just it was horrible.
Like, that situation happening to anybody is obviously one of the worst things imaginable. But imagine you couldn't see what was doing it to you.
Yeah.
How much more scared you'd be? Because you'd be like, is it a ghost or?
Yeah, and she can't report it because, like, what's she going to say? Because, like, even if it was a real, a real man that did it, she'd probably report it. The police would do fuck all anyway. But
yeah, exactly. It's like the result's the same.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's obviously the invisible man has done it. So she's just like, what the fuck am I going to say to the police? And she probably thinks she's fucking dreamt it.
Oh, she would.
Yeah, you'd think you were going insane, right?
She'd be like, what am I? What happened? Like, maybe there could be a film.
Yeah, really.
Maybe
it is actually.
Definitely the darkest scene of the film.
There should be a sequel about her character.
Well, this is a bit tactless, but I was thinking, like, what if you had a film called The Son of Hollow Man, and it's the son of this guy? But I think that might be going a bit too far.
Born invisible.
That's what I thought. Yeah, you're like the Fly too, like Jeff Goldblum's son, and like this guy. She gives birth to this invisible baby. Yeah, she's like, what the fuck is this? No.
Yeah.
No. Right, so instead of the traditional Invisible Man bandages and sunglasses, they cover Kevin Bacon in Josh Brolin's delicious-looking Angel Delight mix, which gives him a rubber, almost Freddy Krueger-like appearance, which I think looks sinister as fuck. What do you guys think? And I found the scene where he scares those kids in the other car to be very, very funny.
That scene where they were making the mask, I remember when I used to watch that when I was younger, I used to love it, and I always wanted to have my own mask like that made.
But I was thinking about the mask though. It doesn't make any sense because he can take that mask off, right? And he puts it back on, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Right, but like he's got long hair. They didn't shave his hair.
Yeah, but you can see it. You can see it at the back though, right? But he's lying down, doesn't he? So his hair's like slipped back. You can see all the bits at the back.
Yeah, but they just
where it would.
Yeah, but they just pour that mask onto him, so it would like all knot and mat into his hair. So he can't just take it off without ripping his hair out. Like
no, he's a scientist.
You didn't think of that, did you?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sebastian has been sneaking out at night, performing horrible acts. So Josh Brolin, Elizabeth Shue, they report what's happened to Sebastian's boss, the aforementioned Dr. Kramer, who fires both of them and nonchalantly tells them, just get your stuff, we'll handle Sebastian. He goes back into his big house, he smokes his nice pipe, and his wife's like, is there anything wrong, husband? And he's like, just a fuck up at work. Is it bad? Bad enough to wake a few generals. Off he goes. And Dr. Kane murders his mentor, Dr. Kramer, by drowning him in the pool. I thought this was fucking mint. Yeah. I thought this was great. Like, he tackles him, pulls him in the pool, and just holds him under the pool. And as he's drowning, and flailing and trying to get out of the pool, the way Kevin Bacon looks invisible in the pool looks so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And even when he climbs out the pool and he sort of like he sprints off and the water's falling from his body as he goes, I thought, fucking, this just...
Like, looks around a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's like, as if like he's still got that instinct to check, like, can anyone see me? Even though he knows.
Yeah.
No, nobody can.
Can anyone see my toupee?
And now this is where the film sort of goes into full horror mode when we go back to the lab. This is where it becomes a slasher. They realise that they phone up to see where Dr. Kramer is. They find out that he's dead. They decide to report him to one of the generals and cut to the power. They say, what do you mean he cut the power? How could they cut the power, man? He's invisible. But, right, this is where the film fucking becomes Aliens, because they put on their fucking thermal goggles, they get their tranquilizer guns, and they're like the crew with the Nostromo searching for the alien before they know how dangerous it is. They're like, let's go down here. Maybe he's down here. We can get him with this tiny, shitty tranq gun, and not realising the threat that he is. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this is probably my favourite death of the film we saw one about earlier. Is it Janice now? She's the last to leave. Like, she forgets something in the lab, so she runs back to grab her gun or puts the goggles on, and as she opens the door, like, this thermal silhouette of Kevin Bacon barges in, holding like razor wire, and just like strangles him. You don't see it; it's literally just that. And I was like, "Fucking hell!" It made me jump so much. I thought that was so cool, so cool. Less is more.
Yeah.
Really,
because you're like semi-expecting it. You're like, oh, it's gonna,
And I think the fact that it was thermal imaging as well, and it's like first-person view, fucking scared the shit out of me. Great stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I think one thing we missed was when he kills the invisible dog.
Oh yeah, the same technique.
Yeah, because he's losing his fucking mind.
Yeah, it was a little bit earlier, but I just thought I mentioned it because there's a bit of trivia about it as well.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. Well, yeah, talk about it because we're on the thermal imaging train.
Well, he's just so apparently they had to show. I can't remember it without reading it, but they thought he killed a real dog because the cut is so clean. Where he's just like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're going to say. I know exactly what scene you go. Because the dog is barking, he's invisible, and he's like, quiet! Yeah. He's like, shut the fuck up!
Shows it through the
dog
thermal.
won't stop barking. So he walks up, and it shows you through the thermal CCTV camera. He opens the cage, picks the dog up by its front legs, and he's like, I'll show you, you little fuck, like that. And he takes the dog off camera.
Yeah.
And then swings it back onto camera and like slams it into the side of the cell, like beats it to death. The old Jason sleeping bag finisher. I was watching that and I thought, fuck that again. Like that cut was seamless. Yeah. Right? And I was thinking at the time, I thought,
so good.
What did they fill? Because obviously he picks up a real dog, puts the real dog down, and he picks up like a fake dog or whatever they used and slams it into the side to get the effect. Now, what did they fill? What liquid did they fill that with? Like porridge? No, because it like it must have been like hot porridge or something because it smears all over the cell and it's obviously thermal imaging, so it's hot. So I'd love to see like the making of that because that was fucking really fucking cool bit.
I know it. I don't know if the thermal imaging is actually thermal imaging. I assume it's like a CGI effect.
Oh yeah, I suppose it is.
Well,
I don't actually know. But I don't
like the gorilla was a human in a gorilla suit, and because there was no thermal, they had to heat it up with hairdryers before they did the filming of it.
Okay, right, yes.
So it is thermal camera,
thermal, like real thermal. Yeah.
Oh fuck me!
I don't know about the dog.
Yeah,
the fake dog.
That's even more impressive.
Beyond the trivia,
I'm going to say they filmed that practically with a thermal imaging camera.
They did because he swaps it with something.
But then it would have been just as easy for them to not do that.
I like the fact that they did.
Well,
that's
apparently they had to show.
Yeah, it's fucking really cool.
Apparently they had to show other footage to prove that he didn't kill a real dog. Because they were going to get in a lot of trouble for killing a real dog because of how it looked and how seamless and clean the shot was. But they had to prove it. What
kind of person watches this film when it came out and goes, oh, yeah, he definitely killed a real dog there. Let's make a fuss about it. Let's make them prove they didn't. Like, of course they didn't, haven't you? So Carter, who is Greg Gunberg's character, is... Do you recognise Carter from anything, James?
I've seen him before and stuff, and I think you'll know him. Oh, he's not Gale's cameraman, is he?
No.
Oh, he's from.
I can see what you mean though.
Fat Keanu Reeves, everyone used to call him.
Yeah, but he's
I've seen him in something, but what is it?
He's in Star Wars. We'll know him. James, me and you. He's the pilot in Lost. Like the actual pilot of the plane.
Yes. Yeah.
So that makes him and Kim Dickens' character the two Losties because she's also Sawyer's girlfriend.
Sawyer's good.
In a couple of episodes. Sure. Yeah, I quite like the character Car. I think like he's like.
I like all the characters.
Well, yeah, I'll get into that. Yeah, that's part of my final thoughts. No, fuck it, we'll talk about it now. So yeah, I like all the characters that work in this lab. I think they're all friendly, they've all got their own personality, they're all likeable, they're all trying to do the right thing. Yeah. And every death that subsequently happens to them, I felt, oh no, fuck! I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
really
yeah. Are we talking about Carter's death now?
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is the one that always gets me, and I knew it would get me again when I watched it.
Yeah,
when he's like grabbing his face and stuff like that, and then he just chucks him in the air, and then he hits the thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's one of those
so
like
gross.
it's one of those deaths. Like I knew it was coming, and I again had to like squint my eyes so I didn't see it properly because there's deaths.
Yeah.
There's a few others, but the one that always gets me is, Snakes on a Plane. Do you know which one I'm going to say on Snakes on a Plane?
No.
There's a bit where all the snakes first attack, and there's the crowd of people run into the back of the plane to get away from the snakes, and one guy falls over like that, and this woman steps on his head with a high heel that goes into his ear. And every single time I have to look away from that.
Fuck.
Because between that, and this was one, because he just gets thrown, not like violently, but he lands on this pipe and it goes straight through his neck, and it's like, and blood comes fucking
I think,
pissing out of him.
Is it like a pipe? Or it looks like it looks like it's squared off.
That's probably some
thing,
fucking
either way,
shrapnel from fucking Josh Brolin's explosive tranquilizer gun, some wreckage that he's left from like fucking dooming the place.
I keep thinking like when Carter's like being attacked and stuff like that, just because like keeps cutting back to Josh Brolin, he's like that.
Like he's got like
fucking Mr. Burns with that hose pipe.
Clint Eastwood's Magnum.
Yeah.
Like, mate, it's a tranquilizer dye. It's not even. There's no gunpowder in that thing.
Do you know what? The amount of time Josh Brolin's character doesn't wear his thermal mask when he absolutely should be.
Oh, I know.
He keeps
fucking taking it
down. Like you're gonna have to be able to see him very soon because he's gonna try and kill him. But that Carter death that reminded me of something out of like Predator because he's invisible and he's on the pipe or whatever it is, and he's just like down. Like he's obviously got super strength because he's like holding him up with one arm, like choking him.
Yeah.
It felt like something like Predatory or even Alien, Like
at that point it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Definitely. He's not just an invisible man. He's like definitely got superpowers by this point. Like he's stronger and faster, but he's definitely more evil.
Pretty much can't be killed. Like the amount of things they do to him. Which we will get on to.
Yeah. So again, like this is where I'm going to give my Fighting Spirit Award for this film to Kim Dickens' character.
Yeah.
So she runs up to Carter and like they're like she's like, he's bleeding to death. If I don't go now on my own to get blood, he will die. And is it Josh Brolin's like, don't go. He's like, I have to. And she runs off to get blood. And fair fucks to her for doing that, because if you are panicking and shitting yourself, you just want to stay with the group. But she's trying to save lives.
Yeah.
And she gets back to the lab and she's got this blood, right? Ice cold, delicious looking, frosty bag of blood. And the door closes behind her. And she's not a fucker. Like when she got molested earlier, she instantly was like, it was Sebastian. I know it was him.
Yeah.
She was like, I might be dreaming, but I think it was him. She knows what kind of man he is. And the door closes and she knows he's there. So she's like, uses her brain, fucking throws the blood on the floor so she can see her footsteps. And I was like, come on. She
starts throwing that shit around like she gangrel. She's just like, yeah. It's a bloodbath.
These motherfuckers. I was like, yeah, so he basically just wrestles the gun off her, tranks her, and she's like, no, don't. And she shoots him. Sorry, he shoots her, and she goes down.
He shoots, yeah.
And then I was like, and I completely forgot about this. So I watched it, and I thought, oh God, he's only tranquilizer data, thank God for that. And then he just breaks her neck and kills her. I was like, oh no. Like,
it's gross.
I'm going to say, like, she's my favourite character in the film. Like, I was rooting for her more than, like, Elizabeth Shue, really. I'd say so.
I was going to say at some point throughout the whole viewing of this film, she is the only character who makes sense, like, constantly, about the animals, about whether they should be doing what they're doing, saving lives, and logic, and just knowing that he's a creep. Like, just instinctively knowing. Yeah, I wanted her to survive the whole film, to be honest. She was my favourite character in this.
I definitely liked her more than I like Elizabeth Shue's character. Yeah. I mean, Kim Dickens probably had a lot less shit off Sebastian than Elizabeth Shue did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really liked her because she was like, she knew straight away. She was like, that man's a fucking predator. Don't care how brilliant he is. That's what he is.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the saddest death of the film. I was quite disheartened by that one.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the one that gets me like physically sick wise. It's the Carter one, but that is the saddest. Yeah.
Sebastian kills nice guy Frank, like crowbars him through the heart. This is really made me laugh. Because he traps Josh Brolin and Elizabeth Shue inside this. Is it a fridge? Is it some sort of like
fridge?
It's a freezer. Yeah. Well, I really love this part of the film because like he like throws them in. He locks them both in. He's like, you can rot in here together or whatever he says. And then he just shows him like going about his day, like do. Puts his cap on, doing his eyebrows.
Puts his real life hair back on.
Buttoning up his shirt. And then he's like, making all these little like Heisenberg glass containers with like nitroglycerin explosions. He's like, whoops, throwing them around.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, do, like closing the fridge with his hips.
It does. It reminds me of. It reminds me of like a montage from like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, you know?
Yeah.
Especially that one in Breaking Bad where Walt's making a sandwich for his first day of work with Gus. He makes that nice sandwich, puts it in a nice brown paper bag with his name on.
Yeah, but then meanwhile, we see what's going on in the fridge, and this is ridiculous. Like, she constructs this high-powered magnet out of like bungee cords and batteries and like broken metal handles. Just like,
I like it.
It's dumb as shit, but it's so funny. And she manages to use this powerful magnet to like slide the bar from the other side of the door to let themselves out.
I wonder if that's actually like was like research into like, oh, this would be possible.
I don't know. Maybe there is a lot of attention to detail in this film.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
So Sebastian's about to make his final escape, so he gets in the lift, and just as he's about to like go up in the lift, Elizabeth Shue, not only has she like constructed this makeshift magnet, she's constructed this makeshift Ellen Ripley fucking flamethrower out of a fire extinguisher, whatever the hell it is. And she runs up to it.
But don't forget though, before she went off, she did put a fire next to Josh Brolin to keep him nice and warm.
Instead of dragging him out the freezer.
No, I think she does drag him out.
She tapes him up. All that silver tape.
Yeah, with all the old style fax machine paper that used to have all the teary bits on the side, you know. Dad used to have a load of that, didn't
we? We used to have a printer that used that, that's why.
Fuck me. Green and white striped paper. Who still uses that? Anyway.
So she runs up to Sebastian as he's going in the lift. She's like, Sebastian! And he's like, see you later, babe, I'm out of here. And I was literally like, you're not getting out of here? And he's like, no can do'sville, baby doll. I was like, oh, you had to get one last fucking line in, prick. But yeah, she gives him the facehugger egg treatment. She burns the fucking shit out of him. She fucking lights his ass up, and he's like, fucking great.
She's got good Ellen Ripley energy, I think, in this last bit. She's got similar hair as well.
Oh yeah,
different colour. I absolutely pissed myself when she just like tortured him. I was just like, fuck. And he's like running away, and she's chasing him, and just his mask is like melting to his skin, and his clothes are just burning off. And, it was great. It was so funny.
I think it looks really cool when like his burned skin sort of flakes off him as well. I thought that was a really nice touch, because I was thinking, when I was a kid, I used to think, oh god, she's got him, she can see him now because he's burned. But it flakes off, and then he's back to being invisible. And I thought, here we go. Yeah, so I will admit, this is where I sort of like lost track of the film with my notes. I was sort of enjoying it quite a lot, but I've sort of not really made notes about what happens in the fight. But Josh Brolin comes back, and there's a big three-way dance. Well, say three. It's a handicap match. What happens next?
She uses the last of her flamethrower to shoot the smoke alarm, and it sets off the sprinklers. Covered in water, and I was very surprised how quickly that whole place filled up with water, because it was like 3 foot deep in about a minute, and I was like, I wonder if that's like accurate. And then Josh Brolin comes back out of nowhere, and he's like hits him over the head with a crowbar or something, doesn't he?
So where I picked up was they were in the elevator shaft basically. So I'm not going to recap this move by move, but the film basically ends where the three of them are in the elevator shaft. The lab is burning down around them, so it's very big Resident Evil final 5 minutes energy, with like a green countdown timer. Now Elizabeth Shue and Kevin Bacon are stood on the top of the lift, and do you know what he looks like now? He's become partially visible again, because I don't know if the serum's wearing off or he's just taking so much damage that like you can see his like.
It's after he gets electrocuted.
Isn't it?
Yeah. He gets electrocuted.
You can see his like muscular skeletal system. He looks like one of those diagrams in like a year 7 textbook. You draw a big cock on it. Like, one of them.
He looks like Frank from Hellraiser.
Fucking, that's exactly what I was going to say, because there's a bit where he's like, he leans in and he's just like, Just one last kiss, baby. And his tongue is it's fucking gross. He's exactly like Frank from Hellraiser.
He looks like him from Sunshine as well.
Oh, Pinbacker from Sunshine. Exactly.
A bit like him in Event Horizon as well.
Final boss Samuel.
Yeah.
Oh no, the cap, or is it the captain from Event Horizon? I forget.
I think the captain. Yeah, because Sam Neill's just like I
think it's the captain of the first ship. Oh, the captain of the Event Horizon, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like him. Yeah, but it's really gross stuff. And again, this is complete CG, I think.
Yeah,
it looks really good. It doesn't look as good as Frank in Hellraiser, but fuck it, it's comparable. It's almost there.
I think at this point, it's like the film's a bit silly, a bit wacky.
I've got the film playing now. It's on Now TV, so I've just got this last bit playing. And they climbed up the elevator shaft of the ladder, and the lab explodes underneath, sending the elevator itself straight up, and they dodge it. She gets caught by it, but and then while they're still climbing, it starts falling back down towards them, but it stops just in time. They have a little chat, and then she's like, "Come on, let's get the fuck out of here." And then they start climbing up, and then guess who's back? But the camera angle's so weird because it's not like you see him climbing; he just kind of floats towards her. It's almost like he can fly. I've got it on now. It's like he goes diagonally straight towards the bottom of it, and then just his hand grab it. Actually, also on this bit, did you see his genitals as well?
The Dr. Manhattan blue swinging dick of Kevin
Bacon. They don't hide it at all, which I appreciate that, He hangs dong in this film quite a bit.
Good. Nor should they. Should they. So, I really like this finish. So, they have just one last kiss, Frank from Hellraiser. Ugh. Gross. Fucking, ugh. That's just so gross.
And then she does a Lara Croft.
She does.
Thing.
She does.
Do you remember that?
What, drops the elevator?
She kicks
the bottom of the elevator, but she's holding onto the rope, so she pulls herself up, and we get this slow motion James Bond Disney villain style death where the villain falls down.
Oh, yeah.
And I fucking love this. Again, it's all CG, but it fucking looks so good. Really, really liked it.
It suits the film.
Yeah. Sebastian falls to his death at the bottom of a burning elevator shaft. That's pretty much the end of the film. I think you just see them. You see Josh Brolin and Elizabeth Shue. Do they go to an ambulance at the end as the credits roll? I think
it's like Halloween 2 end shot. It's like a big a zoom out, getting into the ambulance and shit like that.
I would really have liked to get a little camera pan back down to the lab, and somehow he's still alive. Maybe just his eyeballs are visible now, and he's just they're invisible, right? Then they just go ding because his eyelids are invisible, or his eyeballs are. So it's just his eyes just appear on the floor, and then
I think when he escaped and he attacks that woman, his neighbour. Elizabeth Shue's character goes into his apartment, doesn't she? She finds the mask and his clothes taken off. Yeah. He doesn't put the mask back on through that film, does he?
Yes, he does, because he goes back to the lab with the mask on, and
and then he puts it with his hair.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just went out for the night."
Yeah, he said he was going out to get coffee.
And he starts telling Carter that he messed around with this girl.
Oh shit, yeah.
Maybe it's
fucking he's not lying.
Yeah.
So that is Hollow Man 2000. Not Hollow Man 2000. Hollow Man from 2000. In the books. We'll talk about our final thoughts in a bit, but first, Paul, why don't you hit me with your trivia stick?
It's time for Paul's Trivia of the Week.
You're going to need to compose a jingle.
I already have. I sent it to you.
I haven't got to the episode.
I sent it to you.
No, you just heard it. You just played it.
You need to email it.
Okay.
Come on.
All right then. So first we have an anatomically correct, totally working computer model was created of Kevin Bacon's entire body, down to the last capillary. The 3D model has since been donated to scientific researchers. I think that's what you were talking about earlier, James.
You got some scientists out there getting banged by this computer-generated Kevin Bacon model every night.
Someone will hook it up to some modern AI system, and it'll go rogue and just start running around terrorizing people like Sebastian. Anyway,
number 2.
During filming, Kevin Bacon wore skin-tight costumes in green, blue, grey or black to assist with the adding of visual effects. Some of his castmates said that the hardest part of the role was not laughing at someone painted in black, green, blue or grey, pretending to be mean. Bacon admitted that he accepted the role partly under the false assumption that he wouldn't need to be on set for scenes of Sebastian invisible and that it would be an easy performance. He claimed that, to the contrary, it ended up being the most physically demanding and difficult role of his career. So,
they've got to be like CGI models of your entire body. And you've got to act while painted up in a green suit.
Yeah, I think...
Of course it's going to be difficult.
He didn't... I don't think he expected to have to do the invisible parts, so he thought he'd be in the first third of the film, and then the rest would just be like voice act. Which makes sense.
I bet he expected full pay, though.
Well, he was in the film a lot. He did all the bits, the special effects bits as well. To get the right reaction for the cast, Paul Verhoeven had speakers put in different places on the set and had Kevin Bacon's voice come from different speakers, so the cast would genuinely react to the invisible character moving around. For the scene with the invisible gorilla, Verhoeven screamed into the microphone, imitating gorilla noises. How nice. Lovely.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that. The speakers
cool,
on the
isn't
set.
it? They actually kind of show that in one
Didn't
scene
know
as
that.
well. So
Yeah.
you hear him speaking, but actually, I'm getting that wrong. It actually shows him speaking through the speaker. That's what I was thinking of. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think there are any records? Do you think they ever saved the data of Paul Verhoeven making gorilla sounds? Do you think those tapes exist somewhere?
I hope so.
Fuck, they'd be worth a small fortune today.
In the
I'd love to get my hands on them.
So, for the next one, this is one that we were talking about earlier on. Paul Verhoeven was investigated by the ASPCA because of the scene in which Sebastian kills the dog. Verhoeven showed them the raw footage which showed Kevin Bacon handing the real dog to a vet and taking a dummy from a crew member. Okay, I've got a couple more.
Come on, one more. Give me one more.
Okay. In order to use the title, producers bought the rights to Dan Simmons' novel Hollow Man. The novel has nothing to do with the Invisible Man.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
There
that.
we go. What excellent trivia of the week.
Let's get on to the recast. Who wants to go first? Who have you recast for Dr. Sebastian Kane? James, you're going to go first.
I'll go first as it's my film. I cast for this Jacob Elordi. I think he's like...
Listen to the sound of
Yeah, I
typing.
know, Google him. Yeah. He's like a hotshot at the moment. He's Saltburn.
The tall guy.
Yeah, handsome Australian one.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
Do you know
Well,
that?
he's British in that.
He is Australian.
I thought he is, yeah, but he's
Do you
British
know
in
what?
that film.
That is a really good shout.
Yeah.
'Cause apart from him being like
Do you reckon?
6'6",
He's got...
I just get he could play like a douche.
He has got the type of face. Yeah, I can see. I can see him as like some hotshot scientist, but I can also see he's got like like a thin nose and like thin eyes. I can imagine like if you were to do the Kevin Bacon look, you could capture his face. Paul, who have you got as your Dr. Kane?
Okay, so I'm trying something new here. So I have cast Sebastian as a lady. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
So I've gone for Sosie Bacon.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, very clever, yeah.
The original, isn't it?
And does she sexually assault her neighbour in that version?
Played by Rona Mitra's son.
Ronan.
Yeah, nice. She's fucking really good. She's got like one of those
she is.
one of those faces that would look really good. I've judged all this on what their face would look like with that angel delight on them.
Yeah.
Have you seen Smile?
Yeah.
No, I meant you, Dan.
Yeah, I've seen them both.
You watched it?
Seen them both.
Yeah. Well, she pulls some like pretty fucking scary
I think
faces
as well,
in that,
coming off
so.
Smile, because that was really popular and did really well, and it was a good film. I think it would be a good little project for her next role.
Yeah, nice.
So I went with an actor called Matthew Needham. Paul, you'll know him from House of the Dragon, plays Laris Strong.
Oh, shit.
Is he also in Saltburn?
No, you're thinking of... No, from...
I just guessed.
The guy who was in House of the Dragon that is in Saltburn plays Aemon Targaryen.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Matthew Needham. He's the Master of Whispers. You know, Laris the Clubfoot.
I can't remember it. I didn't really like it. It didn't stick in my brain.
So, who did you cast for Linda, Elizabeth Shue's character?
I cast Elizabeth Olsen
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
for her. Partly because of the way she looks, but just I think she...
I'm a big fan of Elizabeth Olsen. Marcy May Marlene is like in my top 15 films, I'd say. Such a good film.
Paul, who have you got?
So for mine, I have got two. The first one I've got is Naomi Scott from Smile 2.
I've not seen Smile 2,
main
so...
girl.
Yeah.
pointless.
She's really good.
She carries Smile 2 on her fucking back.
Yeah.
Don't say anything
I won't
about
say
it.
nothing else. She's amazing. She's such a good lead in that.
My second choice is I'm going to use the time travel element, right? And I'm the only person who ever uses this because I came up with it and I thought it was dead good, and you two have never fucking bothered with it anymore. So I've gone for Claudia Wells from the year 2000.
Claudia Wells.
Do you know who Claudia Wells is? The pennies dropped.
Motherfucker.
She played Jennifer in Back to the Future Part 1, and she was replaced, she was recast by Elizabeth Shue in Part 2 and Part 3.
Oh, yeah.
They even
So not only would this be poetic justice because for being recasted, she's getting her revenge back, 40 years later?
And it's time travel.
In a remake of her film.
It's time travel as well. Just like
I'm young again.
Like Back to the Future.
So would that mean the films are in the same universe as well?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, Back to the Future have a multiverse.
The Hollow Man cinematic universe.
Just mean
I'd be fucking into that.
No, because then
they tried to do that with the Dark universe, didn't they? With Tom Cruise.
No, yeah, Tom Cruise is the mummy.
Because they were going to do the Invisible Man.
What did you have for Josh Brolin's character, who is called checks notes?
Matthew Kings.
Matt. Kind of half-assed this at this point.
He's a nothing character. You could eliminate him from the film. He's just nothing.
Yeah, I just wrote down Miles Teller because I was looking at.
I like Miles Teller.
And I was like, maybe I like Miles Teller though, so maybe I wouldn't cast him as.
I think maybe you could have the Elizabeth Shue and Kim Dickens role and have them become lovers, and then have the Dr. Kane be extremely jealous.
Yeah, nice.
Not only has she chosen someone else, she hasn't even chosen another man, and that would probably make him more insane than he is. Paul, who have you got for Josh Brolin's role?
So this isn't anything to do with who I've chosen, but I noticed early on in the film that Josh Brolin reminded me a lot of Dean Cain, when he played Superman.
Definitely,
and I thought but what it made me think of was I wish they'd have made a Superman film around that time and cast Josh Brolin as Clark Kent. Anyway, I picked Taron Egerton for mine.
Who did you have for Kim Dickens' character, the vet?
I've got a really good one. James, you go first.
Kristen Milioti from she's in the Wolf of Wall Street. She plays I think his wife before he leaves her for thingy, and she's in The Penguin.
I did know her. Bloody hell.
Yes, she is a Black Mirror. That's how I chose her.
I really like it.
Because I was
really good.
Paul, who did you have for Kim Dickens' character?
I've got Sophia Lillis.
Sophia Lillis. Oh yeah, God, from It. God, yeah, she actually looks a lot like her.
With the short hair and that.
Yeah, that's a very good show. Oh, and she was in... have either of you watched the TV show Sharp Objects?
No.
So good. It's written by... what's her name who wrote Gone Girl? Gillian Flynn.
Yeah.
It's written by that. It's set in Midwestern America. Amy Adams. There's a child murderer going around. It's fucking so good.
Who's next?
Did you cast anyone else, Dan?
I cast Dr. Kramer.
I cast... Carter, by the way.
Okay, so,
let's go through the lab staff first. So who did you have for Carter?
Okay, so for Carter, I had Haley Joel Osment.
Nice.
Because the other night, actually, me and Izzy rewatched The Sixth Sense, and I was like, "Fuck me, he's so good in that film." As a little kid,
what his career could have been.
It's coming back.
When you compare him to the guy that played Anakin Skywalker. If you want to talk about famous child actors that just disappeared from the scene.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jake Lloyd.
Jake what?
Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd.
Why wouldn't you just cast Haley Joel Osment after seeing him in The Sixth Sense as Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace?
He's so fucking good in that film. Yeah. So good.
It's like the guy, and I can't think of the actor's name now, but he plays Charlie in the Chocolate Factory 2005 one, and he's now a famous actor. What's his name?
Freddie Highmore.
Yeah, watching him in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I thought, oh my god, he's so good, as a kid.
Yeah.
But then you have actors...
Some magic, that magic touch.
I mean, how did Jake Lloyd pass, all them screen tests, and they decided to put him in this billion-dollar franchise?
Well, look at the rest of the film.
Oh, yeah. That's a conversation for another time. That's a whole other podcast. Yeah. Paul, did you have for Carter?
I have got Paul Walter Hauser.
Yes, okay, nice. Very nice, What was he in the other day that I watched? He plays Richard Jewell, doesn't he? But I watched him in something the other day.
He's going to be in the new Fantastic Four.
He's not in Black Klansman, is he? Yeah. Oh yeah, he's in the Black Klansman. I'd never seen it until the other week.
I don't remember.
And he popped up in that. I rate him so much. He's so good.
Oh my god, I've just checked his thing. He's going to be in the Naked Gun remake.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Which I didn't know they were making one of.
Who's playing The Naked Gun.
Liam Neeson?
No.
Oh, no. Oh, God. I've just seen it.
What?
That's random.
I know.
Cody Rhodes is in it.
You. Cody Rhodes with his James face.
Yeah, I'm in it. I wish I looked like him. Liam Neeson. This has got to... Oh, boy, yes. CCH Pound is in it.
Busta Rhymes is in it.
That's right. Oh, fuck.
Are you just listing old characters from these Dark Talk episodes?
I was literally going to say, it's like, sounds like a Dark Talk recasting.
You've said
of the
CCH
Naked
Pound
Gun.
there, you've said Busta Rhymes. Right, which character are we on now?
I've got Janice.
Are we on
Paul's... Oh, no, you just
Janice
cast
as
thing.
well, you know, the one who gets garroted.
Okay, go on.
Shahadi Wright Joseph. It's mainly because I thought she was really good in the only thing I've ever seen her in. She's only like 20-something. She could play like a young apprentice-y type character, I thought.
I've just got her up here. She's literally 20.
Yeah, so there you go.
Well, she's not even 20. She's 20 in... As of this recording, she'd be 20 in less than a week.
Happy birthday.
22nd birthday by the time this is released.
Happy birthday if you're listening. If you're listening to this in 2027. No, good shout, because she's a very big part of why Us is so good.
When I first watched it, I didn't like it. The second time, I started liking it. The third watch, I really, really liked it. So I'm a fan now.
James, tell us what else was available to watch in the year 2000.
Okay, so I think we've covered this on... What would we have done? H2O? No, that was 99, was it? And then when was Resurrection? 2002? 2000?
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't think we've covered a horror film from the year 2000 thus far.
And we must... I swear we have. Anyway, so we've got What Lies Beneath. We've got the first Final Destination.
Quality film. Quality film.
Yeah. We've got Ginger Snaps, which I've never actually seen. Apparently it's good.
Great film. Great film if you were a goth growing up in the late 1990s.
Yeah. We've got Herbal
Legends. That's me, mate. Fucking ganja man.
We have Urban Legends Final Cut, which I actually loved as a kid because it was about a film school.
Is that the second film?
The second one, yeah.
Yeah,
it's not very good.
Because I remember the first one...
Well, from what I remember, but...
The first one was in 98 with Rebecca Gayheart and... God, everyone else that's in that is Jared Leto, Joshua Jackson...
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
There's lots of famous people in that first film. Actually,
hell of a cast, yeah.
Fucking Brad Dourif's in it as well, and Robert Englund.
Yeah, I remember Robert Englund.
Robert Englund's a teacher in it, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the sequel, but I remember thinking it was shite. The first one isn't
even
that
it's
good.
like... It's not very good.
Yeah, I caught the sequel of Channel 5 one year, and I was just like, yeah, this is...
Yeah,
Channel 5.
I like the killer's outfit in it, though, because they wear it's like a fencing mask, I think.
Fences are creepy.
It's better than the Parker from the first film.
Yeah, I know. The Rodney Trotter murders.
The Rodney Trotter. Oh, what else?
We've got The Blair Witch 2. No, sorry, we've got The Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Oh, what a load of shit.
I've never seen that film. I've never seen it. We've got American Psycho.
I prefer American Psycho.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Me too. Mila Kunis, definitely.
All American Girl. I know the one. We've got Scream 3, which I actually rate. Guilty pleasure.
Film.
It's the worst of the original trilogy, maybe.
I just
But
hate it so
mad. 4, 5 and 6 are awful. We've got Wes Craven Presents Dracula 2000, which I've never seen before.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's quite good.
Is it?
Gerard Butler plays Dracula.
No idea.
It is Gerard Butler as Dracula with Christopher Plummer, Johnny Lee Miller.
Doesn't even look like him.
A bunch of people I've never heard of. But yeah, fucking hell.
Is it Omar Epps who's in Scream 2?
See Omar
He
Epps.
dies at the beginning, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, yeah.
He's, I think his boyfriend.
Oh,
right.
What, he's Jada Pinkett Smith's boyfriend? Like every other man on the planet. Oh, we're so getting sued.
You've got Leprechaun in the Hood. Oh, I didn't know that was going to say in the Hood. I thought it was going to be like Leprechaun 3 or something. Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. Oh, we got Requiem for a Dream as well. I don't know if you count that in the same genre, but it's certainly a horrible film to watch.
I don't know if it's horror, but it's definitely horrible.
Oh, Battle Royale.
Battle Royale is probably like such a simple concept, but just goes so beyond what the concept is. That film is timeless.
Yeah. And then we've obviously got like Scary Movie, and I remember this other Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, I do, because that was the parody of Scary Movie. So like it's like
so it's got Tiffany Amber Thiessen in it.
I had that on DVD. I don't think I ever got through it, or I think I watched like 5 minutes. I was like, this is...
What was the film that you paid like $17.99 for? Because we were talking about films and you said to me something like, "Oh, you like shit films," and I was like, "Fuck you! You paid full price from HMV $17.99. It was either Meet the Spartans or Disaster Movie or one of those fucking Vampires Suck or something like that."
Date movie.
What's that? I don't even think I've seen that.
I remember explaining that I was like desperately in need of a new film to watch that day, and there was nothing to buy. It was all show, so I bought that.
Date movie, man. Jesus.
Yeah, that about
as if those films
sums it up.
Well, not a fantastic year for horror was 2000. I think what's our best year so far? Is it like 1998? I think it might have been like our stellar fucking or 2002.
Can't remember.
They were really good years for horror.
2002, I think, was really good, wasn't it? There was one that was really you got like I won't go into.
Yeah, it's not good.
I can't remember what it was.
Right, that was Hollow Man. So, guys, give me your final thoughts. Give me your winners, losers, MVPs, VIPs, anything you can think of. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because it's my choice. This was the first thing I wrote down when I was making notes before I watched it. I was like, first of all, I fucking love this film. I think it's bordering on the right side of funny. This is what I wrote before I watched it, and then I watched it. I was like, after that rape scene, I was like, fuck, it's actually not that funny. I don't think the film takes itself too seriously, which I love. It's definitely, if I was to watch it now for the first time, I'd definitely like recommend it to people. It'd be like, oh, you should watch this. It's really good. But no, I think it's a great film. What would I give it out of 10? I don't know, maybe enjoyability and everything like that, maybe like a 7 out of 10. I just remember watching it so much as a kid. And it's always stuck with me. Hence the choice.
Paul, do you want to go? Want to go?
I enjoyed this film a lot. I thought I was going to come into this like with not much to say about it because I've seen it twice in my whole life. But the effects were really good. I did like the story of a man going insane from having this power, and it was quite like a contained film, everyone was stuck down there, and I'm well into stuff like that.
Yeah,
I would
nice.
definitely recommend it to other people. I think the acting was pretty spot on throughout. I would definitely recommend it. I would give it a 6.5 out of 10, just because it's not my kind of film usually. I prefer more like psychological, weirder stuff, even though it's quite weird. But like sci-fi horror, and I love how it looks for a 2000 film. Cheesy music, cheesy haircuts, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good, really good. I'm glad I watched it, and glad we've spoken about it.
Yeah, same. And when you mentioned it, I watched this film. God, this is gonna be like the 20th time I've seen this film. But I haven't seen it in about 20 years, so it was really nice to watch it and remember it and watch it with like older eyes. I thought it was fucking great. I wish there were more films like this. I wish there were more simple, high concept ideas that were well written, like well acted, like well paced, well plotted, just put together, and it's a Paul Verhoeven film. That's how he makes films. Like films like Starship Troopers, RoboCop. They're all just so watchable from start to finish. Yeah. I liked all the characters. They were really likable. I didn't want to see any of them die. There was no fucking around. The whole thing was like A to B, the B and the C. It was A to B.
Hard to fucking get
it was A to B to C to D, and it was like fucking. It was brilliant. There was literally there was no titting around. It was a good, solid story. I loved it. I struggle to rate these films out of 10. I know it sounds stupid, so I'm gonna rate my films out of 5 because I can't do it out of 10. And this to me is a fucking absolute perfect example of a 4-star film. Amazing, great, loved it. It's the best Invisible Man film that I've ever seen.
Nice,
yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you guys for being with me for Hollow Man. Thank you, James, for this choice. Paul, thank you for your choice of Henry. Now it's time for my dealer's choice. I've back and forth. I've thought of this film. I've decided on that film. But I've decided for my film, we're going to stay within the realms of science fiction. We're going to move a little bit out of horror, but this is going to be a lot of fun for the recast. So I've decided for our next episode, we are going to cover the 80s Schwarzenegger classic The Running Man as our next film.
Nice. Awesome.
Oh, sick. don't know if I've ever seen The Running Man.
I'm well looking forward to that.
Yeah. We'll see you next episode for The Running Man. Thank you very much. I'm Dan. That's James. There's Paul. Goodbye and good night.
Bye-bye.